Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram. Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Nityananda, 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 Gauranga, 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 Nityananda, 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 Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Padmavati Nandana Gauranitai, Padmavati Nandana Gauranitai. Jaya Padmavati Nandana Gauranitai, Padmavati Nandana Gauranitai. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga, Gaurahari. Nitai Gauranga, Gaurahari. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hari. Gaura 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 Hari. Gaura 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 Hari. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Radha Kala Chanji, Radha Kala Chanji, Radha Kala Chanji, Sri Radhe. Jaya Radha Kala Chanji, Radha Kala Chanji, Radha Kala Chanji, Sri Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande, Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande, Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. Nityananda Ram ki, Shri Shri Nityananda Mahaprabhu Avirbhav Maha Mahotsava ki, Gaur Premanande.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So we're going to sing Nitai Pada Kamala, and you can type it in on your phone. If you type in Nitai Pada Kamala and KK songs, it should be the first option that comes up. Nitai Pada Kamala.
You want to play? Okay. Jai Nityananda Trayadashi ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So we're going to sing the glories of Nityananda. নিতাই পদ কমলা কোটি চন্দ্র সুশীতল নিতাই পদ কমলা কোটি চন্দ্র সুশীতল যে ছায়া জগতে জুড়ায় যে ছায়া জগত জুড়ায় যে ছায়া জগত জুড়ায় যে ছায়া জগত জুড়ায় নিতাই পদ কমল কোটি চন্দ্র সুশীতল নিতাই পদ কমল কোটি চন্দ্র যে ছায়া জগত জুড়ায় যে ছায়া জগত জুড়ায় যে ছায়া হেন নিতাই বিনে ভাই রাধা কৃষ্ণ পাইতে না হেন নিতা বিনে ভাই দৃঢ় করি ধর নিতাই পাদ দৃঢ় করি ধর নিতাই পাদ দৃঢ় করি ধর নিতাই পাদ দৃঢ় করি কর নিতাই পাই সে সম্বন্ধ নাহি যা বৃথা গেল জন্মতা সে সম্বন্ধ নাহি যা বৃথা জন্ম গেল তা সে পশু বড় দুরাচার সে পশু বড় দুরাচার সে পশু বড় নিতাই না বলিল মুখে মাঝিল সংসার সুখে নিতাই না বলিল মুখে মাঝিল সংসার বিদ্যাকুলে কি করিব তা বিদ্যাকুলে কি করিব তা বিদ্যাকুলে কি করি অহংকার মত হইয়া নিতাই পদ পশরিয়া অহংকার মত গয়া নিতাই পদ অসত্যের সত্য করি মানি অসত্যরে সত্য করি মানি নিতাইর করুণা হবে ব্রজে রাধা কৃষ্ণ পাবে নিতাইর করুণা হবে যে রাধা কৃষ্ণ পাবে ধরো নিতাই চরণ দুখানি ধরণি তাই চরণ দুখানি ধরণি তাই নিতাইর চরণ সত্য তাহার সেবক নিত্য নিতাই রণ সত্য তাহার সেবক নিত্য নিতাই চরণ সত্য তাহার সেবক নিত্য নিতাই চরণ তাহার সেবক নিত্য নিতাই পদ সদা করো আজ 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 নরতম বড় দুঃখী নিতাই মোরে কর সুখী নরতম বড় নরতম বড় দুঃখী নিতাই মোরে কর সুখী নরতম বড় দুঃখী নিতাই মোরে কর সুখী রাখো রঙ্গ চরণের পাশ রাখো রঙ্গ চরণের পাশ রাখো নিতাই পদ কমল কোটি চন্দ্র সুশীতল নিতাই পদ কমল কোটি যে ছায়া জগত জুড়ায় যে ছায়া যে ছায়া জগত জুড়ায় ছায়া জগত হেন নিতাই বিনে ভাই রাধা কৃষ্ণ পাইতে নাই হেন নিতাই দৃঢ় করি ধর নিতাই পা দৃঢ় করি কর নিতাই পা দৃঢ় ধর সে সম্বন্ধ নাহি যার বৃথা জন্ম গেল তার সে সম্বন্ধ নাহি যার সে পশু বড় দুরাচার সে সে পশু বড় দুরাচার সে নিতাই না বলিল মুখে মজিল সংসার সুখে বিদ্যাকুলে কি করিবে তার বিদ্যাকুলে কি করিবে তার অহংকারে মত্ত হইয়া নিতাই পদ পসারিয়া আসতের সত্য করি মানি আসতের নিতাই করুণা হবে ব্রজে রাধা কৃষ্ণ পাবে ধর নিতাই চরণ দুখানি নিতাই চরণ সত্য তাহার সেবক নিত নিতাই পদ সদ কর নিতাই পদ সদ কর নরতম বড় দুঃখী নিতাই মোরে কর সুখী রাখ রঙ্গ চরণের রাখ রঙ্গ চরণের হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Okay. Okay. Nityananda ki jai, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we are going to read the translation of Nitai Pada Kamala. So the first verse is Nitai Pada Kamala Chandra Shishutala. The lotus feet of Lord Nityananda are a shelter where one will get the soothing moonlight not only of one but of millions of moons. If the world wants to have real peace, it should take shelter of Lord Nityananda. Unless one takes shelter under the shade of lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, it will be very difficult for him to approach Radha Krishna. If one actually wants to enter into the dancing party of Radha Krishna, he must firmly catch hold of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. Second verse, anyone who has not established his relationship with Nityananda Prabhu is understood to have spoiled his valuable human birth. Such a human being is actually an uncontrollable animal. Because he never uttered the holy name of Nityananda, he has become merged into so-called material happiness. What can his useless education and family tradition do to help him? The third verse, being maddened after false prestige and identification with the body, one is thinking, oh, what is Nityananda? What can he do for me? I don't care. The result is that he is accepting something false to be truth. If you actually want to approach the association of Radha Krishna, you must first achieve the mercy of Lord Nityananda. When he is merciful toward you, then you will be able to approach Radha Krishna. Therefore, you should firmly grasp the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. So the last verse, the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda are not illusion. They are a fact. One who engages in the transcendental loving service of Lord Nityananda is also transcendental. Always try to catch the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. So, this Narottam Das Thakur is very unhappy. Therefore, I am praying to Lord Nityananda to make me happy. My dear Lord, please keep me close to your lotus feet. So, to get Radha Krishna, we have to first approach Lord Nityananda. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can give us mercy. First, we have to approach Nityananda. Nitai na boli lo je, whoever is not chanting Lord Nityananda, Shangshare, they are encaged in the sansar. So we can do sansar, it doesn't matter. But we have to do real sansar, Krishnera sansar. Krishnero sansaro karo, chari anachar. Jive daya Krishna nam sarva dharmasar. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Lord Nityananda Trayadashi ki jai. Appearance day of Lord Nityananda ki jai. Let us all come together, and we are very much blessed here at Radha Kalachandji Dham. So the children are especially very enthusiastic. All glories to our the temple president and all the assembled devotees that are helping to keep on going with Radha Krishna's service, and the ultimate love of God is over here at Radha Krishna Dham, Kalachandji Dham. Hare Krishna.
Shri Nityananda Ram ki. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you so much So without further ado, I would like to welcome His Grace Kripa Moya Prabhu. His Grace Kripa Moya Prabhu ki jai. His Grace Kripa Moya Prabhu is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and he is the father of Krishna Priya, our wonderful teacher at TKG Academy. And he and his wife, they spend their time kind of between New Vrindavan and Dallas whenever Krishna Priya and family are here, and we're very grateful for their association. And Prabhu's very talented in many different ways, but you can, anyway, I just encourage you all, please give him your undivided attention. And if you have not yet, please turn your cell phones off so they don't interrupt the class. And I would ask everybody to please come scoot up a little closer. So as the class goes on, the temple room will fill up. And also we don't want Kripa Moya Prabhu to feel like he's alone up here. Jai. His Grace Kripa Moya Prabhu ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nityananda Rama ki jai. Let's give Kripa Moya Prabhu a big warm welcome. Hari Bo.
Okay. Sure. No, 12 is fine if I can make it that far. So do you do? What's the protocol here? Okay. Right. Okay. Sure. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Let's try that one more time, but this time everyone put your hands in the air. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Just by hearing you chanting, you've bathed my soul in the merciful sound vibration of the holy name of Radha and Krishna. And Prabhuji, I'm sorry, there was the one who was speaking. Is he here? He was speaking very nicely about how, by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, we can get access to the holy name of Radha and Krishna. I just thought that was so very beautifully spoken. I, first of all, would like to apologize. I did not shave my head, okay? Usually before I speak about Krishna, I like to have a bald head. Bald is beautiful. But I just had a family emergency. I had to go to Boston. My sister's suffering a stroke, so I had to leave suddenly, and I just got back. So, but it did remind me of Lord Nityananda's mercy and how he bestowed upon it in my own life. I remember I was a young boy, about 15, 16 years old at that time. And my mother was a school teacher. I'll make this brief. I don't want to talk about myself, but I just thought, just to give you an idea of Lord Nityananda's mercy. She was a school teacher, and she was teaching a class on a book by a famous German author named Hermann Hesse. There's a book called Siddhartha. It's about the life of Lord Buddha. And she wanted some Buddhists to come and speak about, Lord Buddha, to give her students some context. So she thought anybody with a bald head was a Buddhist. And she saw these bald-headed people in downtown Wilmington, Delaware, with these different type of clothing on. And she says, "Can you come talk to my students about Buddha?" They said, of course we can. We'd love to talk about Buddha. Because devotees are always looking for an opportunity to spread the mercy of Lord Nityananda, right? So they, of course, agreed, and they came. And then a week later, one of my mother's students, she came to her house and said, boy, your mother invited these far-out people to her class. They were, had bald heads, and they were wearing these bed sheets, and they, were just teaching us mantras. So her student memorized 3 of the mantras. Can you guess what they were? Obviously, one was Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The other 2 were Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jaya Jaya. So the student memorized it. The last one was Govindam Adipurusham, Tamaham Bhajami. So he said these mantras. I thought, wow, this is something different. Well, what happened is later on, I was, as a young man in America, we're not as cultured as you are in India, because in India, in the training you have, you offer, respect to the parents. Well, as a child, we were not so respectful to our parents, and we'd get into arguments. And I remember one time trying to get my mother really angry. So I began to chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And the louder I chanted, the more agitated she became. She said, shut up, stop it, and that's, this is getting my mother angry. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So I really chanted loudly. And then, but what happened is by that chanting, all of a sudden I started feeling some inner peace. And even though my motive was to annoy her, actually I was feeling some happiness. This is quite amazing. Well, it's a long story. I won't go into detail, but what was interesting is in order to join the temple, I was 17 at the time, I had to get my mother's signature. And, because I was underage. So I presented the paper to her. The temple said, you must get this signed before you join. You move into the ashram. So I said, Mom, will you please sign this? I want to move into the temple. And she looked at the paper and she said, I think you're joining some lunatic fringe. My mother was an English teacher, so she had very, crisp English. In fact, she would teach engineers from India, when they came. DuPont would sponsor them to take her classes on how to speak English. So anyway, so she said, I think you're joining some lunatic fringe, but at least you won't be taking drugs. And she signed the paper. So she was happy. But what's so amazing is by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, 30 years later, my mother joined the lunatic fringe. And she moved to New Vrindavan. She lived there for 20 years. She took initiation from His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. And the last year of her life, just before she passed away in 2005. So we can see that, examples of this, of how Lord Nityananda is so amazingly merciful. And I thought I'd like to share with you, unfortunately, we didn't have the good fortune of Jai Gauranga Baba was supposed to speak today, so the last minute I was called in. But I had the good fortune of hearing Srinath Krishna Babu give class this morning to the young students at the TKG Academy. So I'd like to share, by listening to his class, it gave me a little preparation to what to talk about. And I also like to speak a few words about Srila Prabhupada when he spoke about Lord Nityananda in 1969, and I believe it was in California, and also in 1977 in Bhubaneswar in India. He gave these 2 beautiful classes about Lord Nityananda. I'd like to share those with you. So one thing that I found interesting in the 2 classes is that both classes to this morning opened up with defining, who is Nityananda, right? Srila Prabhupada said, Nityananda is Lord Balaram. And what does Bala mean? So he said, both to Srinath Prabhu and Srila Prabhupada said, Bala means spiritual strength. Right? So on this occasion, it gives us an opportunity to get spiritual strength. And I noticed in my own spiritual journey, I remember one time how I was meditating on Nityananda's appearance day of actually getting spiritual strength. And I'm not a very, very advanced devotee, but I had an inclination that maybe I will get spiritual strength if I come to Bhagavatam class every day, regardless of who's giving class. Because sometimes I notice my mind, I would cherry pick. I'll only go to this class when this wonderful devotee is giving class, but I won't go if a new devotee is giving class. I would cherry pick like that. But I was thinking that, it's like it reminded me of one time, Haridas, he was a Srila Prabhupada's, one of his first disciples. He came to San Francisco. And another one of Srila Prabhupada's first disciples was named Hari Griva. And Hari Griva, he, for some reason, could not get along with Haridas. And he went and complained to Srila Prabhupada. He said, Srila Prabhupada, I just cannot get along with him. And Srila Prabhupada said, does everyone have to be to your liking? In other words, he was teaching him a very important lesson. It's not that we go to the temple to enjoy the temple, naturally we enjoy, but it's not the primary motive. Is we don't go, a devotee doesn't go to the temple to enjoy looking at Krishna. Of course he does. We do. We have, it's a beautiful experience, but the primary motive is to serve, So, and that becomes the intention behind all of our devotional activities. Then we never become disappointed, right? Because the opportunity to serve is unlimited. So when a devotee has darshan or has an opportunity to associate with devotees or to hear from a devotee, it's not that we're coming to be entertained, right? We are not professional entertainers, right? We are presenting bhakti. Bhakti is unconditional. This is the great mercy of Lord Nityananda. Bhakti is unconditional love for Krishna. And as Prabhu was saying earlier, by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, we get the association of Radha and Krishna. And I was meditating upon that how when we chant the holy name, Srila Prabhupada says in the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita in his purport to the 8th verse, he says that when a devotee chants Hare Krishna, Radha and Krishna are dancing. Radha, I says Krishna and his internal potency are dancing on the tongue. Right? So we meditate on that, but and it is a powerful meditation because at the time of death, this will be our only shelter. Right? And sometimes I was sometimes I try to encourage myself to focus on the holy name, right? And I find that if I ask myself while I'm chanting the holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And if I'm chanting distracted japa, is this the japa, the quality of japa that I want to have at the time of death? So we can ask ourselves this question. Next time we have darshan with the deities, next time we come to kirtan, next time we're chanting the holy name together, is the quality of my sadhana at this moment, my chanting, the quality I want to have at the time of death? But sometimes I've found that the meditation doesn't stick with me, doesn't keep me sober. And then I realized this morning when the devotee said, by the mercy of Nityananda. So we pray for his mercy because it's not by dint of our intellectual prowess. Srila Prabhupada said in his lecture in Bhubaneswar in 1977, it was in February, he said, it's not because we're a great speaker, it's not because we are a brilliant person that we attract the mercy of Nityananda. He said it's simply because when we cry out for his mercy, because he is so merciful. He is the mercy incarnation of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it reminds me of a beautiful story. I just love to hear sometimes the stories of how Nityananda Prabhu manifested through Srila Prabhupada and extended his mercy to the Jagai and Midhais of Kali Yuga. I especially feel like a Jagai and Midhai. I wasn't brought up in a very sattvic situation. And I can remember, anyone ever heard the story of Pigpen? Right? No, yes, you've heard the story, yes. So maybe if I forget some details, you can help me. Usually when you call someone a pigpen, it's not a very, great, it's not a compliment. And I also had that experience when I was going to camp as a child. I was also not very clean in my habits, and so they gave me the name of ground grub. Right? Ground grub is also like pigpen. Right? But Srila Prabhupada is so kind that this devotee, what happened is Indrajuna Swami tells a story of how one time he was in the temple in Paris, and they were preparing to go on Sankirtan. And all of a sudden they heard a knock on the door. And they opened the door, and here's this bum. This person, homeless person, smelled. He was stinking. He hadn't taken a bath for weeks. And he said, food. He couldn't even talk properly. So Indrajuna Swami said, okay, just wait. We'll get you, not food, we'll get you prasadam. Right? Yeah. Prasadam and food are two different things, right? And then the bum said, but let me come in. No, he said, no. He said, you're too dirty. You can't come in the temple. But to stay here, we'll get you prasadam. So they went and he got the prasadam for the bum. And the bum ate it and left. Then later on that day, Indrajuna Swami was chanting his japa in this park in Paris where the Arc of Triumph is. And all of a sudden, you heard this rustling in the bushes. You looked around and you saw, all these newspapers. And these newspapers were where the bum was living, in the bushes. So then later he went back, and next day they were actually preparing for Srila Prabhupada to come to Paris. So the next day Srila Prabhupada arrived, and the devotees then went to the park again. And as they're walking along the park, all of a sudden the bum jumps out of the bushes and he goes to grab Srila Prabhupada's feet. And the devotee says, get that boy! And they grabbed him and they threw him back into the bushes. And then Srila Prabhupada and the devotees continued very calmly walking around the lake. And after they finished walking around the lake, they went back to the temple. When they came to the temple, the door was wide open. And Indrajuna Swami said he knew I closed the door before leaving, but now it was wide open. And they walked into the temple, and the bum was there. And he ran, and he lunged at Srila Prabhupada's feet. And the devotee says, get that! But before they could say boy, Prabhupada said no. He stopped the devotees from stopping the boy. And the boy grabbed Srila Prabhupada's feet. And he put his head at Srila Prabhupada's feet, and Srila Prabhupada started to rub his head and said, it's all right. It's all right. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It's all right. And the boy was there he was only 19 years old. He was like holding on to Srila Prabhupada's feet, and Srila Prabhupada was rubbing his head. And finally Prabhupada said, all right, Hare Krishna. And the boy, he fell back. He withdrew. And he just sat there in the middle of the temple room. And they opened, and right after that moment, they blew the conch shell, and the Govindam, and they opened the curtains, and the Govindam prayers were playing. Ever since I've heard that story, whenever I hear Govindam Adipurusam Tamam Bhajami, Govindam Adipurusam Tamam Bhajami, I just remember that boy sitting, having his head at Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet and being rubbed, and then the curtains open. And he just sat there in the middle of the temple, and Srila Prabhupada gave class, but the devotees started having an argument. We can't let him sit in the middle of the class like that. He's right in the middle of the temple room. He's a distraction. And the devotees, no, we can't move him though. He got Srila Prabhupada's mercy, So finally they let him stay through the whole class. And then they said, well, he can't stay in the temple. I mean, he's been taking drugs, And then another argument. Finally the devotees says, well, no. Indradyumna Swami says, take him upstairs, give him a bath, and see if he can, wear a dhoti. So the devotee took him up. He had a nice shower. They taught him how to put on a dhoti, put on kirta and tilak. And when he came back down to the temple, Indradyumna Swami couldn't recognize him. He turned into like a Vaikuntha angel, But he still couldn't talk properly. He had some kind of speech defect. Then finally, he just stayed there the whole day at the temple, and he stayed overnight. And devotees were saying, well, we can't let him stay. I mean, he can't even speak properly. But then, you know what he did? He spontaneously started cleaning the temple. And by doing that, he endeared the hearts of the devotees to him by cleaning. And as he was cleaning the temple, he of course was cleaning his heart. And gradually what happened, within a couple of weeks, his speech cleared up. And then one day, as he'd be cleaning the temple, the devotees would ask him, how are you doing, Pigpen? Pigpen would say, Prabhupada saved me. Prabhupada saved me. And then, after a little further time, it was time to go on Sankirtan. So then, they loaded up the vans with the books, and they put all their belongings, all the traveling party was going to go on Sankirtan, and they went back into the temple to get one last box of books. And when Indradyumna Swami came out, there was Pigpen in the passenger side of the van, sitting there. He says, Pigpen, you're doing such a nice service at cleaning the temple. We're going on Sankirtan. Pigpen said, no, go on Sankirtan. And Indradyumna Swami said, but why, Pigpen? You're doing such a nice save at the temple. Pigpen said, Prabhupada saved me. Prabhupada saved me. And then, when they went on Sankirtan, they came to, in those days, they used to distribute books at parking lots. They would take us to a parking lot and drop us off, come back 12 hours later. So anyway, as soon as they got to the parking lot, he was the first one out of the van. And he started going towards the shopping mart. And Devoy says, Indradyumna says, please get him. He's got a dhoti on. He's going to get us arrested. And the Devoys tried to catch up to him, and they couldn't catch him. So I said, don't worry about it. He'll get scared and he'll come back. Well, he didn't get scared. He was out there. And devotees saw him. Hey, look, he's distributing one of Prabhupada's books. And an hour later, in the meantime, a lot of devotees were just taking breakfast. And then they'd done a little distribution. They were getting ready to leave. And he showed up at the end. He had no books in his bag. He'd filled his bag with books. And the devotees, one devotee said, he must have thrown those books in the bushes. No. I saw him distributing the books. So Nirjuna Swami asked him, so what did you tell them, Big Ben? Can you guess what he told them? Prabhupada saved me. Prabhupada saved me. You know. So then what happens, they came back to the temple, and what's amazing is his speech cleared up. He began to speak very nicely. And he started giving classes. He became a full-time book distributor. He became initiated by Srila Prabhupada as Rasadadas. And he served for many years in the temple in Paris. And last Indradyumna Swami heard of him, he was in New York distributing books. I don't know where he is now. But just Indradyumna Swami said, this reminds me of a beautiful verse by Sanatana Goswami, that just as the actions through a chemical process can turn bell metal into gold, similarly, by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, even the most fallen can become purified. So I just have one more little story I'd like to share, which has inspired me over the years. And this is another story of the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And this is actually told by a man born in India named Mr. Seti. Does anyone know the story of Mr. Seti? Maybe I can tell it. It's a beautiful story because he was actually coming from a different background. You see, this young Rasadadas came from, must have a very difficult, troubled life. It must have been a very difficult upbringing. But here, Mr. Seti, he was somewhat cultured, background, born in India. So when he went to see Srila Prabhupada, this is before the Jew temple was built. He went to see Srila Prabhupada. Somehow or other he found that Srila Prabhupada was coming. So someone arranged for him to go visit Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada asked him, so what do you do? And Mr. Seti said, Srila Prabhupada, what do you do in the morning? That was the question. What do you do when you wake up in the morning? And, no, I'm sorry, I'll back up. He says, what do you do? And he said, I own a construction company, Swamiji. And then Srila Prabhupada said, no, I mean, what do you do when you wake up in the morning? He said, oh, well, I wake up, I go to the toilet, I take a shower, take my bath, then I drink some tea, and then Srila Prabhupada stopped and said, why are you living like a pig? It's kind of shocking. First he was shocked, but because he was very humble, and Srila Prabhupada knew how to read the room. In other words, that's not something I would say to someone if I met them for the first time. Why are you living like a pig? But Srila Prabhupada, his ability, he could actually see into someone's heart. I had that experience when I first met Srila Prabhupada in New York in 1973. I'll tell it real quickly. I was outside his room. I was chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, very loudly, much louder than this. And it was annoying Srila. It wasn't annoying Srila Prabhupada, but Srila Prabhupada was concerned that if we were chanting too loud, we would disturb the neighbors, because there had been some complaints. Actually, one devotee had been attacked. I remember seeing him coming into the Brooklyn temple, all bloody. He was chanting his japa very loudly, and someone attacked him. So Srila Prabhupada, I remember seeing him coming into the Brooklyn temple, all bloody. He was chanting his japa very loudly, and someone attacked him. So Srila Prabhupada wanted to protect the devotees, so he was a little upset that I was chanting so loud. So he came to the balcony of his room, and he looked down and he said, chant softly, Long John. Somehow he knew my American name, you know. So anyway, so when we were, I lost my train of thought. Where was I? I got distracted. Oh, Mrs. said yes. Thank you. You saved me. You saved me from an embarrassing situation. This is why we need satsang, devotee association, you know, because by ourselves we can't approach Krishna by ourselves. You know who the most powerful animal is in the jungle? You said tiger, right? Tiger is actually more stronger, more powerful. But why is the lion considered more powerful? Even though the tiger is bigger, weighs more, is stronger. Yes, they work together, right? So this is the power of association. That together we become stronger. Srila Prabhupada using the analogy, you take one stick, it's easy to break. You take many sticks together in a bundle, it's very hard to break. Right? So getting back to Mr. Sethi. So Srila Prabhupada asked him this question. So why are you living like a pig? And Srila Prabhupada and Mr. Sethi said, Swamiji, you're right. Is there something I can do to help me so I don't live in this way? You know, because he realized I'm just eating, sleeping, you know, working. You know, what is the value of life if I'm just doing these things, which the animals also do? Right? They eat, they sleep. So Srila Prabhupada said, so from this day on, I want you to invite the devotees to your house for prasad. And I want you to go on Naga Sankirtan with them. So he agreed to do that. And then later on, he volunteered his services to build the ashram at Juhu Temple for the brahmacharis. And Srila Prabhupada, before the building was complete, he gave Srila Prabhupada a tour. And Srila Prabhupada, it was marble and beautiful inlaid woodwork, beautiful furniture, very comfortable surroundings. So Srila Prabhupada invited Mr. Sethi to come to his room. And he was showing Mr. Sethi, just looked to see how my disciples, how much love they have for me, you know, and how much I love them. And Mr. Sethi said, yes, this is gorgeous, Swamiji, so beautiful. Then Srila Prabhupada said, I want to give this room to you, but said, I want to give this room to you. Because for so many years I wanted you to come and live with us, but you're always afraid you would not be comfortable. So now I want to give you my room. And Mr. says, wait, Swamiji, no. I can't take your room. Where will you stay? Don't worry. I have so many places I can stay. You know. So this is the power. This is the Srila Prabhupada was a manifestation. I do not know personally Nityananda Prabhu Mahajan. He appeared before I was able to take birth on this planet. But I do know, I did have a small opportunity, a little association with the manifestation of Nityananda's energy, Srila Prabhupada, who came to the West. I just remember one time I was in Vrindavan, and a devotee was telling me that Srila Prabhupada was unique because so many great scholars and pundits and Brahmins and erudite sages were living in India. But only Srila Prabhupada had the conviction that this chanting of Hare Krishna can change the lives of anyone, regardless of how fallen they are, regardless how debauched, regardless of how much drugs or how much meat, or any of the sinful activities they were engaged in. This chanting of a Hare Krishna Maha Mantra can change their lives. And we see that's happening. We see that has happened, and it's still happening today. So we're all very greatly fortunate to be part of this Sankirtan movement. And I'd like to perhaps end today with a... Actually, you have to be careful what you desire, because I was thinking when I came here to Dallas, I'd like to sing for the devotees here a song that I had written to glorify Lord Nityananda. I never expected I'd be able to, I wasn't prepared to give a class, but at least I had the song, and I had the opportunity to share it with the children in the school. And I thought I'd share it with you, because this is, after all, a day to glorify Lord Nityananda. And it begins with there's a beautiful poem by Bhaktivinoda Thakur called Nadia Gujune Nityananda Mahajan. It's from his book of songs, Prarthana. And the English translation is, in the land of Nadia, on the island of Gojune, the magnanimous Lord Nityananda has opened up the marketplace of the holy name for the deliverance of all fallen conditioned souls. And then Nityananda would raise his hands in the air and he would say, "O people of faith, O people of faith, by the order of Lord Gauranga, I beg 3 requests of you. Chant Krishna, worship Krishna, teach others about Krishna. Giving up all sinful activities. Just take the holy name of Krishna. Krishna is your mother. Krishna is your father. Krishna is the treasure of your life." Giving up, yes. Being careful to refrain from all sinful activities, and giving up all sinful activities. Carry on, go about your worldly duties only in relation to Krishna. The essence of all religion is to show compassion to others by loudly chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So with that as an introduction, I'd like to share with you a song, and I'd like you to sing the chorus, which is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. One day Nitai saw on the village green Jagai and Madhai fighting and shouting obscene. 4-letter words, so Nitai cried, "Stop cursing and punching each other. Jagai and Madhai and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare." When Nitai, the youngest brother, heard this, he was so confused. He took another swig from his bottle of booze. Then he clenched his fist and whispered, "Jagai, let's give that Swami a black eye." As with love, Nitai cried, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. But when Jagai and Madhai chased Nitai down the road, they couldn't catch him because Nitai escaped to the abode of Lord Gauranga, who was very pleased by how Nitai tried to get those bullies to blissfully chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Hare. Then fearless Nitai went back the next day throughout the town of Navadvip to see if there's some way those barbaric brothers could be purified. When he finally found When Nitai finally found them, Jagai and Madai were stone drunk, but Nitai humbly proclaimed, you can taste a higher taste, my friends, if you chant Krishna's names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But Madai had a temper that was always boiling hot. So he threw at Nitai's face a broken liquor pot that struck Nitai smack in the middle of his forehead. Nitai fell to the ground and humbly said, it doesn't matter that you've thrown this clay pot at me. I still beg you to chant the names of Lord Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Then like the trembling waters of a tsunami tidal wave, Lord Gauranga trembled, and like Nrsingadeva's ferocious roar that shook the clouds in the sky, Lord Gauranga loudly cried, holding his Sudarshan chakra on high. Jagai and Madhai, I'm gonna let my chakra fly. Today you sinful boys are going to die. Jagai and Madhai, I'm gonna let my chakra fly. Today you sinful boys are going to die, are going to die, are going to die, are going to wait, cried Nitai. Then Nitai reached out and touched Lord Gauranga's lotus. Then Nitai went, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then Nitai reached out and touched Gauranga's lotus feet. With tears of forgiveness flowing down his eyes, Nitai began to weep. Please, Lord, put down your Sudarshan chakra disc. Remember in Kali Yuga, you promised not to act like this. And with his body soaked with blood, Nitai embraced Madai. When he saw how Nitai forgave Madai, Lord Gauranga cried, I'll also forgive these brothers and give them another chance. They promise never again to hurt my devotees, and always chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. A little louder this time. Can I ask you for one more favor? I have a lot of Jagai Madhais still running around in my heart. Can you please chant us a little louder to get them out of my heart so I can also join you all in Harinam Sankirtan? Hare Krishna. Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Hare. One more time. Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki, Lord Nityananda ki, Sagai Madai ki. Haribol. 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 Thank you very much.
His Grace Kripamoy Prabhu ki jai. There's some time if
Okay.
devotees have one or
Any-
two questions or comments, we can go until 12 o'clock.
Okay, sure. So we have a little time. Now I get a chance to hear from you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Kripa Moya Prabhu. And I was really hoping that you would sing one of your songs.
Oh.
So another thank you for that. You reminded me of a couple pastimes. I'm so glad you spoke about Mr. Seti. But first, when speaking about the mercy of Nityananda and Pigpen, I'm sorry, I don't remember his initiated name, but how he was completely transformed by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. I recalled His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj repeating what Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj had said about a conversation he had with Srila Prabhupada. My recollection is there was a devotee who was in Saffron who had begun to deviate from some of the ISKCON things. He ended up moving out of the temple. He was sleeping on the beach. And Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, he was talking to Srila Prabhupada, you know, this Prabhu, he's no longer in the temple. And Prabhupada just didn't react. You know, he said, well, and he's sleeping on the beach now. And Prabhupada didn't react. And he was saying, well, you know, Prabhupada, he's giving ISKCON a bad name. He's not a good representative. He's out. He's in Saffron. He's deviated. And Prabhupada finally stopped him. And he said, I am here on the mission of Lord Nityananda, and I cannot turn anyone away. So all glories to Srila Prabhupada. And I was just really grateful you mentioned Mr. Seti also, who was completely transformed by Srila Prabhupada. And Mr. Seti, I read in I'll Build You a Temple, the book by His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj. He never did take initiation from Prabhupada, but he felt so indebted to him that we read in the book about the Juhu temple. As you mentioned, he was the contractor who said, no problem, I'll build this temple. But then there was all this conspiracy. Mr. Nair had bribed all the city officials, and they tore down the temple that was built. But then the court order said, actually, it's fine, you guys can build your temple, but you have to rebuild in one day. And it was a Sunday. And so all the shops were closed. But Mr. Seti didn't want to disappoint Prabhupada. So he said, please, I don't want any of the devotees to worry, I'll handle it. And somehow he got all the construction materials from his connections. He started rebuilding. 9 p.m., it starts pouring rain, and it's just mud. And he wouldn't give up. He said, no, it's just like the Govardhan Leela. and then Mr. Nair sent all of these people to come tear down the temple. And Mr. Seti, he threatened them. He said, you have to go. And they said, well, we'll be back with 150 of us. And Mr. Seti took out his rifle, and he handed his son a pistol. And he said, you can come back. You're welcome to. And they didn't. They just kept building. Mr. Nair didn't send any more people, and then they stayed awake all night to make sure that nobody would come and destroy it before that 24 hours was up. So anyway, this is all due to the mercy of Lord Nityananda, the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, who just gave so much love to everyone who showed just the tiniest of interest in Krishna. So thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing those. Beautiful.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the wonderful lecture. So you talked about our consciousness while chanting the holy name at the time of death, right? But Ajamil, he got a second chance, but he wasn't even talking. He just said Narayan, but he was referring to his son, but yet he got a second chance. So my question is, quality, how important is it? Like, because, yeah, how important is quality? And if, like, at least I can say for myself that my japa does not have that much of quality. Like, it's really low, like, right now. So sometimes I feel like that japa is equivalent to like not chanting anything at all because it has no quality, and sometimes I get discouraged in that way. So yeah.
That's a beautiful question, and it reminds me actually of when Arjuna is telling Krishna in the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. It seems that the mind is so turbulent, is more difficult to control than the raging wind. And Krishna tells Arjuna, he says, yes, but it is possible by constant practice and detachment. So, we don't know for how many millions of births we've been contaminated in this material nature. And so sometimes I know we see so many glorious examples of devotees. We read about, wonderful sacrifices they make, and sometimes I think, my God, how do I fit into all this? I don't feel like I'll ever get to that level, But as Srila Prabhupada, because he had so much faith, if we can just, pray to Krishna to give us a drop of the faith that he had in the holy name. The process does work. Just, the fact that we are actually even trying to change, even if it's distracted japa, the fact that we're still trying, we won't get as purified as quickly, but Lord, Krishna is so merciful. And we shouldn't bank on that. We shouldn't think, well, Krishna's merciful, and therefore, it's like, what's like committing an offense to the holy name, sinful activities on the strength of chanting. But at the same time, if we become too hard on ourselves, if we become too obsessed on how fallen we are, then we lose the opportunity to cry out to Krishna. It can become another form of self-absorption. And yes, it's a given. I'm fallen. Krishna knows it. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't fallen, right? So the longest walk begins with the first step. So every time we pick up our beads and we chant on one Tulsi, and Tulsi is so merciful too. We have so many spiritual, cheerleaders who are rooting for us in the spiritual world. You can imagine, for everyone in this room, there's thousands of cheerleaders in the spiritual world waiting for you, anxious to see you to return to Vaikuntha, to your original home. So, by associating with devotees, because being in the Sangha gives us, strength. I hope that helps.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And I just want to thank, especially in closing, just real quick, I'm very, very grateful for the Shingarupa Bhu and all the devotees here. This Dallas temple, I tell, when people come into Vrindavan, I tell them, you've got to go to Dallas, to Radhakala Chanji's, because they're cultivating a spirit of congregational, development, which I think is exemplary in ISKCON, and I think I'm really glad that all of you are participating in this vital mission. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. I do it right, yeah.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Someone will set up the microphone. Shamapatita Prabhu Napaibe Yara Haha Swarup Haha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Haha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripa bala kana koro ami bora dukhi Kripa bolo kana koro ami bora dukhi Doya koro Sitapati Advaita Goshai Doya Koro Sitapati Advaita Goshai Tava Kripa Bale Pai Chaitanya Nitai Tava Kripa Bale Pai Chaitanya Nitai Haha Swarup Sanatana Ruparagunata Sanatana Ruparaguna Haha Swarup Sanatana Ruparaguna Bata Juga Shri Jiva Prabhu Lokanath Bata Juga Shri Jiva Prabhu Lokanatha Doya Kora Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas Doya Kora Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas Ramachandra Shanga Mage Narotamadas Ramachandra Shanga Mage Narotamadas Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Kora More Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Kora Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Kora More Toma vina kedayalu jagata samsare Toma vina kedayalu jagata samsare Ha ha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Shuki. 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 Premananda Kripa balakana koro ami bara dukhi. Kripa balakana koro ami bara dukhi. Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram. Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram. Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
One more, please.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
You also have like Joshua Nanda.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Go high. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Bodhitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Shri Nityananda Rama Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Astottara Sata Shri Srimad, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Astottara Sata Shri Srimad, His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Brajabhumi Shri Vrindavan Dhama Ki Jai. Mayapur Navadvip Dhama Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Kalachanji Dhama Ki. Gangamai Ki Jai. Jamunamai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Nityananda Ram Prabhu Ki.
Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki. Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladadayine. Praladadayine. Hiranyakashipurvakshaha. Singha parato na singha to na singha parato na singha yata yata yamita to na singha yata yamita to na singha bahi na singha re dhaye na singha na singha re dhaye na singha Narasimhamadem sharanam prapate Mamadem sharanam prapate Tavakara kamalavare nakam adbhuta shringam Talita hiranyakashipu Danubringa Shavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Nittai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nittai Gaura Haribo. Nittai Gaura Haribo. Nashyadev Bhagwan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki. Nittai Gaura Premanande, Haribo.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Now that we've done our chanting and dancing, now we'll have feasting. Feasting will be in the next building. Haribo. Tagore Premanande.